Hey everybody. I really didn't think OKyrios was going to grow this fast. Thank you for joining. Thank you for becoming part of OKyrios. And thank you for letting me know that I needed to get this video out to let you, our new members, kind of see around OKyrios, see how OKyrios is bigger than what you can see when you first arrive, and also to show the people that'll be joining OKyrios what it's like inside and what they get for joining OKyrios. So stick with me here for a few minutes and let me show you around a place that we've all kind of really become proud of, because as you will see, it's something that has become an expression of who is there. So what is OKyrios? OKyrios is a secure Christian online community led by clergy and monks of the Orthodox Church from all different jurisdictions and from right now predominantly people in the West, though we're localizing for Russian, Greek, and probably for Spanish. OKyrios is several systems that come together and work together to create about 5 different places that we work, teach, and create Christian content, both for people inside of OKyrios and for the world at large. So think of it this way. It's a safe place where we can come together as Christians, led by Holy Orthodoxy, monitored by clergy and monks, that we can share ideas and create amazing content and share that with the greater world. So let me dive in just a little bit and show you inside of OKyrios. OKyrios, as I said, is made up of these 5 systems. The Lavra, which is our private secure area that we hang out. I'll show you just a little bit inside there in just a moment. OKyrios Meetings, which is our own highly secure meeting system, similar to, let's say, Zoom or Google Meets or Microsoft Meetings, but it runs on our servers. It's based on several open source projects, and it creates for us our own secure meeting system. And by the way, secure is a word that you're going to hear again and again throughout this presentation and throughout how we do things in OKyrios. We're not saying that we're perfect from a security perspective. That's far from true. But it's very important to us, and we're well aware in today's time that security really is an important thing. And we need to know that we have the privacy that we talk about, and that the information of our members and what we share inside of OKyrios really is secure. That's very difficult to have on any other platform other than OKyrios. OKyrios AP. OKyrios AP is our replacement for YouTube. It is a peer-to-peer storage system that soon will be redundant, that will allow us to store videos, sometimes hidden, usually public, and use these videos like this video here for teaching, for information, education, for music. And what's cool about it is it's our platform. So there's things that we do a little bit different. For instance, every video, regardless of how high the quality is, it gets transcoded. And what that means, it gets reduced down into just an audio file and just a very small video file. And what this lets people do is those with very poor connections, maybe over satellite, maybe on a cell phone remotely somewhere, watch our videos or listen to just the audio. That's difficult to do even on platforms like YouTube. More importantly, again, it's on our servers and it's using our logins and passwords. It's our security system. So what we put there, we're protecting. Next is OKyrios Schools. Now, this changed. This was not what we expected it to be. We thought we would have just the school at OKyrios. At one point, we called it the Scola. And it really has turned into something different. That's why we're calling it the schools at OKyrios or OKyrios schools. We have several different groups that are coming together to start schools inside of OKyrios. And it's very realistic that within the next few months, we're going to have curriculum that goes all the way from kindergarten through a master's degree in divinity. It's exciting. And it's an exciting time here in OKyrios. Finally, it's the OKyrios blog. Now, this is really something very simple that a lot of folks have asked for, and we've just recently turned it on inside the Lavra to where we can create blog posts that are either private inside the Lavra or that we can share with the greater community. It has an RSS feed. It has all of the modern tools of a good blog, and it's built on WordPress, which some people love, some people don't, but whether you love it or not, it's one of the best blogging platforms that's out there. So we have created a place where people can go and blog directly within that WordPress environment. They can have their own pages and categories for blogging, and then share that blog together as part of the OKyrios blog. So let me dive into each section just a little bit and give you a little bit more detail and show you inside of OKyrios. First is the Lavra. This, again, is our private and secure area. This is our newsfeed, much like the newsfeed is within Facebook. Anything that is posted within OKyrios relevant to you shows up within your newsfeed. You see the recently active members, and right below that is who's online. Now, of course, I have that masked for obvious reasons. On the left, you see the menu that shows that we not only have the newsfeed, but an inbox. We have a live messaging system, very similar to what they have inside of WhatsApp, or now just recently with inside of Facebook. That live messaging system is also capable of both audio and video chat, including group chats. Underneath there, we have forums, and these are discussion forums very similar to Reddit, for example, is a good example of a discussion forum. Then we have our groups. Now, in some cases, groups and forums are the same thing. Sometimes they're not. In other words, you can have a forum that's part of a group, but a group is just a group of people that come together, similar ideas, that want to discuss the same things. Now, within that group, you have a feed similar to what we have in the main feed, but you also have its own chat system just for that group chat within it. So you have a feed that's more permanent, and then you have chat, and that chat also has video and audio. So if you have a group of people and you want to go into a group chat, you just click the video or audio, and it'll take you into audio or video chat. Next, there are our photos. You'll see in the next slide, OKyrios is beautiful inside. When I come in the mornings and turn it on, I do two things. I want to see what's in the newsfeed, and then I click on members because every single day we have new members. It's so exciting. But the photos is something I just added because we have almost 2,000 photos already inside of OKyrios. And these are of icons, holy churches, amazing events, and it's really become beautiful. The next section there is our classes and posts, and that's where we can create classes for our schools, groups of classes or a school. We can also create blog posts and pages, and we'll go into more of that a little bit today, but a lot more of that as you join OKyrios and join the classes that teach you how to use those tools. Finally is the affiliate dashboard, and I'm going to show you that a little bit today. As we shared with you, the purpose of OKyrios, the reason we initially created it, was to create a funding model primarily for St. Demetrius Monastery, but really for all of Orthodoxy. What's happened is it's really become kind of an organic, something that is growing organically. Let me say it that way, both in its scope and in its members. what I mean by that is we realized that part of what we needed to do was to create a place people could come that was away from all other forms of social media. And that's why we have that YouTube replacement and the Zoom replacement and the Facebook replacement and the Instagram replacement, right? And all these different pieces. And that's why OKyrios is going to continue to grow in that way. Because we wanted to create a place where we as Orthodox Christians could come and not be bombarded with advertising and information that, quite honestly, is not good for us. And when you join OKyrios and spend some time in the Lavra, you'll see what I mean. There's actually a kind of a peace that it brings. So the next part, and that's what I'll show you towards the end of the presentation, is that affiliate dashboard, that original reason why OKyrios was created. To fund ministries. And if you're in a ministry and you're working with OKyrios, if you're a leader or an influencer, I've probably already given you a coupon code or you have an affiliate code that if people join using either of those, you receive credit every month for their membership. If they have a full membership, that's 50% of that membership or $7.50 every month from every member that joins. This is that primary purpose. And it takes very few members for that to turn into really a lot of money, a lot of funding, and something that is reoccurring as they pay their memberships every month. This affiliate dashboard allows you not only to track that, but also to get paid out on that. And that's where the payout system is for that. And I'll show you just a little bit of that here in just a moment. So, remember I said it was beautiful in the Lavra? I just wanted to grab a couple of kind of zoomed out pictures to give you an idea, right? On the right is our mail system. On the top left, those are our actual discussion forums. On the bottom left, there are groups. And on the bottom right, these are the photos that I talked to you about. And right now, there's been kind of a wave of these beautiful memes that have come in. These sayings of the saints with beautiful pictures. But there's almost 2,000 pictures now that have been that our members have added to OKyrios in just the last month, 5 weeks. It's really last month. It's really amazing. So, next OKyrios meetings. What I tell people as I'm traveling is that for the price of what you pay for Zoom, you can have what you have in Zoom on our servers, plus everything you get in OKyrios. And it's part of the reason we did this. The other reason is we wanted to have a scalable platform that we could go really to thousands of users that was free for those in OKyrios. Because when you start looking at these things at scale, you can really have a financial impact on what we do around the world by just bringing that money together for a better purpose than to pay for a service individually that if you join OKyrios, you get for free. Zoom's a good example. Meets is a good example. The other is it takes people off those platforms that they're highly dependent upon. So I'll show you here in just a minute the way this works, but as a member of OKyrios Meets, you can create conferences. These conferences can be scheduled conferences, or they can be permanent rooms, if you will, that you can open and people can join at will. Again, this is a secure platform. This is built on the same type of security that we use across OKyrios, and it is only available to our full members, and it uses what's called our single sign-on system. So when you create a conference, it goes to a screen that looks something like this. And this is a high definition screen that has screen sharing, has built-in chat, supports multiple cameras, multiple microphones. You can share videos It's what we call a watch party. It's a very cool feature that if you're a member of OKyrios, you see very quickly because our members enjoy using it. You can literally just grab any of our videos, either from AP or from your own collection, and watch it together in a group video and talk about it and share about the ideas. Great for teaching, where you've done a previous class and you want to share that class with a group of people, but you still want to participate with that video. And this is one of the cool features that we have inside of OKyrios Meetings that you don't have in Zoom and you don't have in these other platforms. And it's a way that we bring OKyrios AP and OKyrios Meetings together to work together. Now, one of the capabilities that we'll have in OKyrios Meetings here in just a few weeks is the ability to record what you're doing in this class, for example, even if you have a class in a class. In other words, you have a pre-recorded class as you're sharing. You can will be able to record all of that and have it, the recording itself will actually be stored in the classroom. So you can actually take the class and put it directly in as a previous recording of that class, or not. You can just have it as a record of that class that you did that time. But we'll have that record button, and you'll actually be able to record the class directly to the classroom environment. Lots of other cool features. You see the little hand raising. When you do it, there's actually the ability to raise a hand, so you can say, hey, I'm asking a question. But there's also, when you do it, there's also sounds that it makes at different times, depending on which hand you choose to wave. And you'll just have to see that when you join OKyrios. But it's really, again, it's a cool feature that's exclusive to OKyrios. OKyrios AP. This one has really been fun. This has been exciting. I think we have over 400 videos now, 1,000 watch hours. It's really amazing. This thing has taken off. This is our YouTube. This is the term itself refers to the sayings of our Desert Fathers. And if you click on the About, when you go to AP, you can see it there. You don't have to be a member of OKyrios to see the videos that are on AP. However, when you create a video for AP, you get to decide who sees it. If you want only our members to see it, then you can set it to where only our members can see it. If you want only you to be able to see that video, and maybe you want to store it for releasing later or just to keep for yourself, then you can set it to be completely private. If you want to set it for only our premium members, you can do that also. So all of that, again, is how AP works with the Lavra, works with Meetings, and they all three work together. In fact, in just a couple of weeks, you'll be able to live stream directly from Meetings into AP. Now, what does that mean? That means you'll be able to bring, instead of 100 people together as you would in Meetings, or maybe 50 people in Meetings, that gets pretty crowded with all of the little different people joining, to where it's an actual stream that hundreds or thousands can join, and we can host that on AP. Well, you can use Meetings to actually be the platform to send the live stream to OKyrios AP. We also show you how to use OBS, which is a broadcasting system specifically for doing that. That's the system I created this video with. We'll teach you all about that in our tools section inside of OBS. And this is a good time to let you know that. One of the cool things about joining OKyrios as a leader, an influencer, as someone that's producing content, is we all come together and work on this together. Some of us have been producing content for many, many years, and we're very familiar with these tools like OBS I was mentioning before. And we'll show you how to use the tools. We already have, our very first class was on how to use our school system and how to use some of those tools. So we'll provide for you not only classes inside of OKyrios, but every tool we use is a well-documented tool, and many of them are very, very well-supported open source projects like OBS. So, continuing, OKyrios funding. As I said, the affiliate dashboard is that mechanism where if you are a leader, and this is important information also for our members so you can understand our funding model. We're completely straightforward with it. 20% of a basic membership goes to the people that invited you. If no one invited you, then that doesn't go to any specific person. It still goes into OKyrios and it will go into the St. Demetrius or the general donations. If you join as a member, 50% goes to the person that invited you. This allows the person that invited you to track those funds that come in. And that's paid every single month. So not just the first month, but every month they receive either 20% or 50% of your membership. So leaders, influencers, content creators, as you join OKyrios and you use the coupon code that we give you, as people join with that code, they will be connected to you. And from that point forward, their membership, 20% or 50%, will be paid directly to you whenever you hit the pay button to get paid out. Now, this also applies to our family memberships. It obviously doesn't apply to our other leadership memberships because that's who receives the funding, not where the funding comes from. So I hope that makes sense. Again, that's the purpose, is the funding. Anyhow, I think it's a great system and I think you're going to like it. Moving on to the schools. Now, here, we immediately got a bunch of questions the first time I showed this deck, and they said, this is the WordPress backend. Yes, actually, we're quite proud of the fact that we use WordPress for certain portions of OKyrios, not all of it. One portion of OKyrios we use it is our school system, and that is built on LearnDash. LearnDash is a great system. It's an award-winning system. And we've plugged our video systems into LearnDash so that the videos you create in OKyrios Meets, on OBS, or on AP can go directly into your classes inside of LearnDash. And here you see I have 2 demo classes that I've set up, and they have your classes, or if you're leading a school, you're going to have groups of classes that you have editorial control over, if you will, for an entire school. Within this, there's going to be the homeschool classes that are starting right now. They're starting to be built right now. And then we have university classes. These will be 2 separate schools. And when each of those leaders go into the individual schools, they will see their curriculum, their classes. In fact, their schools will even have their own landing page. Also on this same page is our OKyrios blogs. And this again is using that great, simple to use, yet really rich interface of WordPress using Gutenberg blocks. We own Elementor Pro, and we may plug Elementor in here. It adds a lot of weight to the site, and I would encourage us to try to use it this way first. But if folks would really like to have those additional fancy tools for their blog posts, we can add Elementor also. This also is where we allow our premium members to create pages. So for example, you may want to have a landing page for your blog, or you may want to have a page that describes something, particular project or ministry that you're working on. And right here is where you're allowed to build those pages, or even groups of pages. So that's OKyrios, kind of top to bottom without doing a deep dive. I thought about going into the architecture, but honestly, those of you that are excited about the architecture already know about it. Those of you that don't know about it probably aren't excited about the architecture of OKyrios. But the general idea is to create a highly resilient environment that we can take anywhere in the world and can always be up. And I think many of you that are joining know why that's important. We use very independent security. We use open source projects so we know how we're securing things. And we use the knowledge developed over the last about 25 or 30 years of my career building clouds, building communication networks to really build something cool here in OKyrios. And we have other people coming to join us that will bring their talents and capabilities to make OKyrios even better than it is, even more secure than it is today. So that's OKyrios, top to bottom. And I hope that you enjoyed this short video. If you have questions, please reach out. Reach out to the group on Facebook, the OKyrios group in Facebook. If you're already in OKyrios, you can connect with and message me directly or ask in any of the groups. If you're a leader, we have our own dedicated leadership group. You can ask there. There's a group that talk about the tools where we go into more detail in the tools. And there's a group for our premium members and regular members so that you can ask more questions there also. So thank you for your interest. Thank you for joining OKyrios. It's really exciting to watch the numbers continue. The number of people in OKyrios, not only to continue to grow in numbers, but just exciting to see who's joining. Leaders are coming truly from all over the world. It's really fun. It's really exciting. And it's beautiful. I mean, that wall, when you have icons and churches and quotes from the saints every single day, and it's really, really cool. And Orthodox Sentinel radios, 2 radio channels are right there in the newsfeed of OKyrios. So sounds good, looks fantastic. It's full of amazing information you can't find anywhere else other than OKyrios. Oh, I almost forgot. And tomorrow I'm starting to teach the class on the Lazarus protocol. And the only place I will teach that is inside of OKyrios and only for members of OKyrios. So those that followed me at Hope for Bipolar and those who came to OKyrios specifically for the Lazarus protocol, we're starting that class tomorrow and only for members of OKyrios. Because as I said this some time back, I would never teach the Lazarus protocol in public. It's not. It's our Lavra. It's our private space. And tomorrow we start teaching the Lazarus protocol. So come join us and get excited. There's some really, really fun things happening inside of OKyrios right now. So see you inside.